So we're here with Gary Newbon at the York Hall for this charity event, Repton versus the Azerbaijan team Gabali, which Tony Adams is involved in. Darren Barker's involved with Repton. What's your role here tonight, Gary?
Well, I'm emceeing it. I'm doing the public address system, doing the ring announcements, and also interviewing some of the personalities that are expected to be here tonight, including Frank Bruno.
And of course, it's a great cause, Mo Farah Foundation, World Refuge Week.
And also for the Azerbaijan charity, which is about displaced refugees, and there's a lot of them in Azerbaijan, unfortunately, so it's a good cause. And Tony Adams, who's the inspiration behind this, feels very strongly about it. He knows a lot about it because Gabala have got a football team, only formed a few years ago, but Tony was manager there for a couple of years, and they're actually in the Europa League for the first time, qualifying, starting next Thursday, actually, as we speak. And Tony is advisor now, and they started this boxing team last year. But the interesting thing about Gabala is that Azerbaijan, football's not the national sport. The national sports are boxing, which they're very strong at. And they had two bronze medalists at the London Olympics, and also wrestling. So I think tonight Repton have got their work cut out to get some decent results, because Gabala will be hot favourites, probably to win every bout tonight.
No, definitely. And of course you mentioned the 2012 Olympics, and Britain had much success in that. Boxing is one of the sports that we do really well in the Olympics, and the professional ranks. We're seeing such an uprise in British boxing at the moment, with of course Foxgroves just being at Wembley as well in front of 80,000. I mean, what can we expect tonight with some of these amateurs coming through?
Well, I don't know so much about, I've got to be honest, I don't know so much about the amateur game, apart from the Olympics and the European and World Championships, as I do professional. Professional is more my scene. I enjoy amateur boxing, but I think that there's obviously going to be one or two bright youngsters. There always are. You've got to look to the ABA finals, which my company Sky are now covering, actually, to really look at the talent. So we all know about the Olympic medalist in this country who came through and are now turning professional, particularly Anthony Joshua. What a prospect he is. I think he's going to be world champion at heavyweight eventually, as long as he's handled properly, which I'm sure he will be.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, how much involvement do you have in boxing? Do you go to a lot of the professional fights?
I go when I can. I'm heavily involved in a program called Sporting Heroes. I've got the only interview with Nazim Hamid, who I know well since he retired. And I've done several of the boxers there, including Lennox Lewis. In fact, the Lennox Lewis one was they're all an hour long, and without trying to blow my own trumpet, Lennox thought it was the best one he'd ever done, and he's posted it on his website. You'll find it on his website, Sporting Heroes.
Definitely.
Go when I can. Occasionally I introduce the boxing on Sky. I haven't done it recently, but I love the sport. I mean, my ITV days, I was there 36 years. I was involved in massive fights like the Ben Eubank fights, all sorts of huge fights in this country, and it was a pleasure to do them. One or two of them ended tragically. The Eubank-Watson fight, then the McClellan fight, but that's the danger of sport, and particularly in boxing, where there's obviously a danger, because it is the only sport where the intention is to knock the other guy out. But it's brilliantly supervised these days in this country, and particularly at amateur level. I mean, the opening bouts tonight, there's two 11-year-olds and two 12-year-olds. They're only doing 3 by 1.5 minutes, but I know the referees will take good care of them, as they do all the amateurs.
No, definitely. And going on to another sport, you cover quite a lot of football.
Yeah, I did 7 World Cups. Disgraceful, the Suarez thing. I mean, what do they want to do with this guy? And they're blaming the British media. Everybody blames the media, don't they? It's ridiculous. He should have got 4 months. I think he should have got 6 months. It's terrible. And he's a menace to the game. And I think if he does it one more time, I mean, he's done it 3 times now. He can't go around biting people. The only person I know who's done that, I'm sure there's other sports. Rugby used to have a few years ago. But I mean, we know about Mike Tyson, and that was terrible. He bit Holyfield's ear. I did an interview with Mike Tyson, and I said, why do you try and bite the other one off? He said, well, I got away with the first one, so I thought I'd go for the second one. But it's revolting, isn't it?
No,
that's
definitely.
the only word I can think.
And stick in there the whole racism issue as well. That's why I was involved in.
Racism is a terrible thing.
So I mean,
that's a different issue than biting biting somebody's ear off. I mean, racism has to be cut out. And by and large, I hope that scene's improving. But biting somebody's ear off, you can't compare that with racism. That's a completely different topic. And as I say, I think Suarez got off very lightly. Big problem for Liverpool, they're quite innocent in this.
Well, what do you think Liverpool should do now, though? Do you think they should keep hold of him, or perhaps...
well, they will try, I would think, but he's also been, I'm told, hoping for a transfer to Barcelona, more money, presumably. I feel really sorry for Liverpool, but I mean, I don't know where the standards come at times. Are they going to take a stand? I don't know. Are they going to put up with him missing 13 matches? Will they have to pay him? There's all sorts of questions that need to be answered. I feel sorry for Liverpool. Difficult problem.
And you mentioned you've covered 7 World Cups. What did you make of England's performance at this World Cup?
Dreadful. I thought they were going to do really well with all those youngsters. They sort of froze in the second game, didn't they? I was always worried about the defence. And Rooney's our best player. I mean, I can't believe people's that right. He's given us some chances. But Rooney's our best player by a mile. You've always got to play Rooney.
Definitely. And
I feel sorry for Roy Hodgson. I think he's a good manager. I think managing the England football team at times is like being the Prime Minister. It's a hard job. You know? Whoever's Prime Minister, whoever's the England manager, it's a hard job. See, the Premier League is absolutely fantastic. And we've got fantastic facilities, fantastic money coming in. But the price of that is that we're bringing some of the world's best players here, and we're suffering at international level as an England team, and indeed Scotland, Wales and Ireland. And I think there's no answer to this. Either you're going to have a great Premier League and not a very good English team, or you're going to have an absolutely average top league and wonderful England, well, nearly a wonderful England team, maybe. It's a hard conundrum. I don't know what the answer is.
And I mean, it's been a great World Cup apart from England. Lots of surprises, lots of goals. Who do you think will go on to win this year's?
South American, Brazil. Germany might surprise people where they get to. Well, are you ever surprised with the Germans? They're fantastic. Nigeria look useful, but you never know. I think Brazil will get stronger and stronger. It will be South America. I'll be amazed if it's a European team. It won't be. I don't think it'll be an African team. Chile, bit of a surprise package, but now they've got to get past Brazil, so we'll see what happens there. But then, just talking about the Premier League, it's a fantastic product. It's a wonderful game. And it's like a lot of things, you can't always have the best of everything. And the Premier League is terrific. England suffer, they definitely suffer, but I don't know. I was really disappointed. I thought we would do better. I thought we might beat the Italians. And the marking was awful for Suarez. Mistakes in defence. I'm disappointed for Steven Gerrard, who's been a great player, but didn't have the best of World Cups, did he?
No, definitely. I mean, and there's always that talk of that golden era, and they never quite achieved it. I think getting to the quarterfinals on numerous occasions.
We got the semis in '90. I was in that game. I think that was the last good one we really had was '90. And I can't see it improving in the future, I'm afraid. Not in my lifetime, anyway. But then I am getting on in it.
I mean, what do you see? I mean, everyone talks about the English players coming through, like you mentioned. You can't have the best of both worlds. But what do you think England needs to do? They brought in the likes of Glenn Hoddle, and they brought in this committee to try and get ideas.
Until you get the club's full cooperation, until you get players available all the while, I don't think there is a remedy, to be honest, other than affecting the Premier League, and they're not going to do that. There's a clash of interests, a clash of what the fans want. The fans want a great Premier League, and they also want a great England team. I don't think it's possible. I would certainly not change the manager. I would definitely keep Roy Hodgson. I think he's the right man for the job at the moment. I don't particularly want an overseas manager. I don't think they're going to improve it. Sven-Göran Eriksson, Capello, I don't think they brought much to the table, to be honest. I'd definitely keep Roy Hodgson. I would have faith in the young players. What you need in football, which is what you can't get, is patience. Manchester United had patience in the early days of Alex Ferguson. He was close, we're told, to getting sacked. Look, what a fantastic manager, the best ever he proved to be. And we've just got to have patience, but people want instant success.
The times have changed, and especially with social media and things like that.
These young players, really young players, I mean, I was disappointed Luke Shaw didn't play in the 3 matches. I think he's a terrific prospect. Disappointed in Sturridge, thought he would have done better. Very disappointed in the end with Sterling. But I was all for playing these kids. But clearly they need more time.
No, definitely. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you.